Last week I made a video about The Idol, and it did better than any of my other videos have ever done on this channel. And at first I was really happy. At first I was like, okay. But then I was like, because that means, due to popular demand, I have watched episode 2 now. Consider me the referee between you and the cringe. Oh, and by the way, I got a lot of comments on that video that were like, oh, Nikki, you just couldn't possibly understand what Sam Levinson is trying to say. And I mean, I got paragraphs, I got novels typed out to me defending this show, which I'm not reading all of that, but I'm so sorry or congratulations. For some reason, people seem to take it as a personal attack when you slander this show in any way, which I think is really silly because you don't need my permission to watch the show. I'm flattered that you thought you would have to ask my permission. I think that's sweet. But also, like, hey, have you ever considered this? Stop being a dork. If I liked a show and it was problematic, I'd be like, hey, it's kind of problematic, but I like it, and that would be it. That would be the end of my day. Anyways, the internet has been eating episode 2 up.
The little pussy belongs to me.
And while I will say this episode got better in some ways, it also got worse in many ways.
Fucking stretch that tiny little pussy.
Like, I bet you thought The Weeknd couldn't get worse at acting, but this episode really kicks it up a notch.
No, I'm just at the club. Just catching up on some work, you know?
Okay, but...
Maybe some business.
Bro swears he's getting an Emmy. I cannot take him seriously. There's not a single appealing thing about this character. Anyways, let's get into it. Alright, so this episode starts off with Jocelyn getting ready to show her team a new remix of her pop song from the last episode. And apparently her and Tedros made this together, so I was like very nervous. I was already scared as shit about what this was about to sound like. And boy, was it worse than I ever could have imagined. Her team understandably does not fuck with this song.
I mean, okay, I'll go first. I mean, it's not happening.
However, Nikki, who is her manager from her label, is insanely harsh on her.
Well, that's too bad. It's too fucking late. That train has left the station, and whether you like it or not, you are going for that ride!
And so Jocelyn's like, if you're not gonna let me release it, then I'm just gonna release it myself then. Which, again, is met with a bunch of no, that's not what you're doing.
That's fine, I'll release it myself.
Wait, baby, no.
Okay, so you think you've got a bigger fucking dick than me now, princess?
And even though the song fucking sucks, I do agree that she should be able to release it if she really wants to. Or at least there could be like some kind of compromise, like, oh, we'll release the regular one and then we'll have the other one as like a remix, you know? They live in the modern era, dude. They have iPhones. They could literally just put a remix on Spotify. It's not that big of a... Ugh. This causes Jocelyn to storm off heartbroken. And when she tries to call Tedros for support, he doesn't answer because he's on step 4 of the dentist system.
Neglect emotionally.
Jocelyn tries to organize the various and into something. And I swear to God, if this song ends up working out and doing really good so that Tedros looks like he was right all along, I'm gonna lose my freaking shit. Because this so desperately would not work in the real world. Anyways, Tedros ends up calling her back mid-jerk-off. She's jerking off with some ice, by the way. I didn't mention it before because I didn't think it would be this significant in the show, but she also did this in the last episode twice. So I figured I better just start talking about jerking off with ice because it seems like it's a regular guest star on the show. Jocelyn when she sees a bag of ice. Anyways, Tedros comes off hella demanding in this scene.
Hey.
Why'd you play them the song? You know it's not done, right?
That honestly reminded me of when I used to work at Target and I was like, hey, how are you? And the customer would be like, all right, say hello. You know, it's not illegal to say hi, how are you? And this is when we get some really cool acting from The Weeknd again.
You know, there's a powerful voice inside you.
I want to reach down and pull it out.
The way that The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp act together in their scenes in this show is honestly so reminiscent of 50 Shades of Grey, yet it's somehow worse. Case and point.
I don't make love. I fuck.
But what he does next has me cackling.
What are you doing right now?
No, I'm just at the club.
Come on! Tedros gives a super half-assed F-boy response as to why he hasn't answered his phone all day.
I'm literally about to sleep, and then I realized my phone was on silent all day, and my assistant had my phone.
I was literally about to sleep, but then I forgot I was supposed to do my daily manipulation on you. This is when you see that Lei, her best friend slash assistant, is also talking to one of Tedros's cronies. His name is Isaac. They're chewing the fat, they're hitting it off. I actually forgot to mention that in the last episode they did dance together at the club, but this episode expands on the relationship towards the end and it gets really creepy. Jocelyn asks Tedros if he wants to come over and work on stuff, which of course he says he can't because, like I said, he is emotionally neglecting her.
Alright, well then I'll see you. Hopefully I'll see you in a couple of days.
Meanwhile, Jocelyn's playing with an ice cube in her hand, and the ice cube's like, please, no more. I can't take it anymore. So Jocelyn and her crew show up for a music video shoot, and we get a silly, goofy moment with the guy at the security booth.
Hi, we're here for the music video.
Do you ladies have ID? My apologies.
Thank you. It's your apology.
And this wouldn't be funny, but it literally happens in the span of 0.2 seconds. Hi, we're here for the music video shoot. Hey, do you ladies have ID? Oh, my apologies. Like, what are we, speed running this? Am I being dramatic or was the pacing of that insane? At the music video set, there's tons of creative decisions being decided without taking Jocelyn into any sort of consideration.
It's just like, it's not really what I imagined.
And Nikki is also pissed again because apparently Jocelyn showed up 3 hours late because makeup had to airbrush cuts off of her inner thighs.
She had these cuts on her thighs and they had to airbrush it and cover them up.
Oh, shit. And it's easy to see that she doesn't actually care that Jocelyn is potentially self-harming.
I don't want to argue about it. I can't have another incident like this. I can't afford it.
I mean, Jocelyn's excuse for these cuts is literally that glass broke between her thighs, which is literally a crazy, insane excuse. However, as bad as this looks, I don't think that Jocelyn is actually self-harming in this way. I kind of think that she was squeezing one of her glass cups with ice in it just a little too hard in between her thighs, maybe. So this leads to what is honestly the best scene out of this show so far, and it shows Jocelyn having to dance like a puppet 1,000 times over, and she's doing this under the pressure of it being career ending if she doesn't figure it out. No pressure.
You gotta go in there and you gotta give it your all, because I'm telling you right now, if you don't, these people are gonna fuck up your career.
It's no wonder that she's falling apart on stage, and it is honestly hard to watch. So she gets back out there and finally she gets this amazing take, but somehow the motor slips and the whole thing doesn't get recorded, and this is heartbreaking for her. She just did an amazing performance.
I'm sorry, Joss. It was out of focus. The whole take was out of focus.
Joss, you're gonna have to do it again.
But she gets back up there, and at this point her feet are bleeding, her costume's cutting into her body, her inner thigh wounds have opened up. She even starts calling for her mom multiple times.
Mom?
Oh, Jesus, it's all over her face.
This causes Nikki to finally call it quits and tell her that she needs to go home and go to sleep, because if it wasn't already evident, she's having a psychotic break. And in the middle of this very good, actually powerful scene, we cut to Tedros cockball torturing Isaac. And Tedros is like, this is your audience. You gotta make them believe you wanna fuck them. And his delivery is so bad, especially on this line.
Not a human, Isaac. Don't forget. You're a fucking star.
She promises Jocelyn that she'll let her try to film the music video again tomorrow.
You promise we can go tomorrow?
We'll go tomorrow.
But as soon as she leaves, she calls Jenny in.
Will you go get Diane, bring her here?
Thanks so much.
And even has her sing Jocelyn's song.
Can pull my hair, touch me anywhere, ball and chain.
Aubyn's gonna take you to stage 5. I want her to lay down the track right now.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
And it's alluded that Jenny might be replacing Jocelyn for this music video. And you know what? I kind of called the Black Swanery before the Black Swanery even happened. So... granted, this is a very terrible version of it. So Jocelyn leaves the studio. She's struggling to walk. She's being carried by her friends. And then back at home, her and Haim have a conversation about how she's not focused and about how she's going broke. His relationship really explored or even saw that they were very close to each other. It hardly feels like a betrayal because as far as we're concerned, they don't even know each other all that well from our point of view. And number 2, it happens so abruptly. Just in the middle of episode 2. Like, we don't even really care about her relationship with Tedros that much yet. They've literally hung out once. This is like the opposite of a slow burn. And just like the scene with the guy at the security booth, it happens, it's just so fast that it's comical. So the next day, Tedros brings over some of his cult members, and one of them is like super childlike. Like, there's no other way for me to describe her, really.
She lives in a hotel?
No. This is her house.
I've never been to a place so big.
She acts like a child. Maybe she is a child. I don't know.
You have a pool?
I have 2. You wanna go for a swim?
Oh my god.
And so she immediately gets naked and goes in the pool, which, by the way, Tedros just gives her permission to do as if this is like his house.
You wanna go for a swim?
Maybe I don't understand celebrity life, but if somebody I was into just brought over some chick that I didn't even know and then she just gets naked and jumps in my pool, I would kind of be like, what's a good word for this? So anyways, Isaac beelines it to Lay, and he's really like feeling himself because he just got his nuts electrocuted. And I just started standing Lay because I just realized that she's the actress from this clip.
Come on, it's LA. What? It's LA. I'm addicted to drugs. We all are. If you don't have an eating disorder, get one, bitch.
So I don't mean to go too hard on her, but she does like a lip smack, and it's so like Twilight adjacent behavior. So they all start partying together, and we get some super on the nose background music just to tell us what's going on in case we couldn't already tell. Baby girl, I can tell that you think that I'm right for you. I already know that it's not true. Do you get it? It's because Jocelyn thinks that he's right for her, but he's lying to her, even though it is wrong. Ugh. A soundtrack is supposed to complement the scene. It's not supposed to mansplain exactly what's happening to you. This is such a jerk-off session for the weekend. I can't stand it sometimes. The naked girl from the pool starts playing the piano and she's like going off like Beethoven. Meanwhile, Tedros pressures Lay into doing cocaine.
Yes, yes.
You can't trust me.
I trust, well, I just met you,
But you trust me.
And I rewatched this next scene like 10 times because I was trying to understand what the fuck I was watching. So she's chasing around his pinky? The way that Jocelyn and Tedros bond together is honestly weird and dumb. And then to make matters worse, while Jocelyn is explaining this trauma that she's experienced earlier on in the day, there's shots of Tedros and her just like manhandling each other, like thrown throughout that conversation for whatever reason. Can we give Jocelyn a moment to speak without all of this? Like, damn. Meanwhile, Isaac is trying way too hard to sleep with Lay. Like, she clearly says she wants to slow it down various different times.
Wait, can we just,
Oh, we can.
talk for a second?
And they even have a conversation about Tedros mid, like, making out. Isaac says he met Tedros in a church and that he's very godly.
He's very godly.
She also finds out that Isaac has been signed to Tedros' label, too.
Wait, sorry, he's signed to what? What did he sign to?
Yeah, his label, his management.
Whatever the hell his label is. So yeah, that's weird as fuck. And yes, it's another day. Sometimes you just gotta film on 2 separate days. Some days you just can't take it. Because sometimes you have to explain what British GQ calls the worst sex scene of all time. Before the whole sex shaboddle though, Tedros is kind of like an astrology girly in this moment.
The night we meet, we talk about when doves cry. And you got a fucking Prince photo in your house. What are the fucking chances? There are no coincidences in life.
What is this? What are these delusional clickings? Yeah, when we met, it was 80 degrees outside. We come out into the living room, and the naked girl is singing a song. It's like sad about family. It goes on for way too long, which I feel like is a Sam Levinson staple at this point. Remember from season 2 of Euphoria when Dominic Fike sang that one song for like 1,000 years? That's kind of what this felt like to me. Oh, and I almost forgot. Tedros proposes that he moves in with her because it's just easier.
I mean, it'd be easier if I moved in. Yeah. For work purposes.
Like, what does that even mean? You can drive to the house. That's pretty easy. Manipulation tactics are so crazy for that reason. Like, because if you think about it for longer than like 20 seconds, you're like, oh, actually, you sound stupid as fuck. Anyways, the episode ends as Jocelyn lets out one lonely, goofy goober teardrop. And Tedros, like, glares at Lay creepily. Which, by the way, I just wanted to reiterate that I think there is something really gross and weird about what just happened with Isaac. Because it appears that everybody in this cult is in cahoots with one another. And the way that Tedros pressured her into doing cocaine and then, lo and behold, ew. Oh my god. Ew. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want me to do episode 3. I will if you want me to. And if not, that's okay. Still love you. Hope you stick around for the other videos. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.